Hello, welcome to another episode of Western Adventures. Today we're out here in eastern Arizona exploring around, and we're going to be going to this one ranch house which is right in front of me, and then we're also going to go down the road just a little bit, which I believe there's an old schoolhouse. Let's get started. So this ranch, like the other one in my previous video, is also owned by the U.S. Forest Service, and it's open to the public to explore. This was actually once one of the largest ranches in the Southwest. I know it doesn't look like it, but it is. And in my previous video, we were kind of out in the mountains and in the valleys, and now we're in these beautiful plains, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous place. So we have the main ranch building, ranch house, which I believe I'm standing on the porch of, and then over there we have some old, we have some smaller buildings, obviously in a much worse shape. The Forest Service put up a bathroom for people to use when they come here, which is nice. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna explore inside this place and see what we can find. Ooh, it's kind of warm in here. Just came through this nice old heavy door here. Looks like people have been keeping this place in good shape. A lot of open space here. This must have been really nice back in the day when I got cold. Big old fireplace right here. Oh, someone left the window open. How do we close it? That doesn't work. Let's close it by hand. There we go. That's how you get animals in here. Oh. Still have the original tool here to poke the fire with. Nice old, I assume this was the kitchen area at one point. Please leave for others to enjoy pottery found near the windsock. So I'm assuming this used to be old Native American pottery of some sort. Cool stuff. Now with artifacts like this, it's always important to leave it where you found it. Cool stuff. There's a guest book over there. Must be power here at one point. This is a newer plug. I wonder if someone had a generator. So last time someone put a calendar up here was 2016. Might be due for a new one. Beautiful old cabin. Nice woodwork right here. All right, here's the bathroom. No longer usable, obviously. But wonder if this was the main ranch house. It's just it's the biggest building on the property. So this ranch was homesteaded in the 1870s. Had around 30,000 head of cattle. In the 1930s, when the Apaches discontinued grazing leases on their lands west of this ranch, this business here was pretty negatively affected. So they added a dude ranch component, and there's actually an airstrip that was built here to fly in guests. This large building was constructed to be used as an event center for the people at the Dude Ranch. So that's what we are standing in right now, which makes perfect sense. There was also a bunkhouse on the property, and then the Forest Service took ownership of this ranch in 1989. Well, there's not much to see in this place, so why don't we head out and see what else we have out here. This right here must have been the bunkhouse. Nice, very nice construction in this place. So this must have been one bedroom here, or maybe there was a couple of bunks in here. That's why there's two doors. There might have been it looks like there was a curtain at one point. And over here, you can see there was a toilet or a shower in there. It looks like there's the hookups for the sink. Very small bathroom. There's another bathroom in here. Yeah, all the hookups are still here. Here's the shower, okay. I didn't see that's in the other one. So we're pretty close to the main event center, the main common cabin for this place. So I thought these were original, still historic property, but these buildings were made for the Dude Ranch at this place. So, but the history is so important. Then if we go out here and go around, there's another section of this bunkhouse right here. You can see where they did put it in the middle right there. Probably a closet. Well, this bathroom has all everything left in it. This one has the sink and the toilet. Unfortunately, people broke the glass. got an old stove. Another bathroom and another closet. I wonder, let's see if we can find the airstrip. Might as well keep some of these closed. So there should be a sock on it, for the, it would show which way the direction. Okay, there it is over there. So the airstrip was somewhere over here. It might have been in this field right here, or maybe actually, you know what? Could have been actually right over here in this flat section. So this property had two uses. It was used as an original ranch, and then it was used as a dude ranch. This is where they found the ancient pottery, was all in this area. So at one point the Native Americans probably had a small little settlement out here. So these appear to be some of the more original buildings on this ranch property. I don't even know what kind of snakes or whatever could be hiding in there. I'm not even gonna walk in there. But see some shelves, and this is one of the original stone wall buildings. You can see they literally built with everything they had. You see that they the tree, the log in the middle there. So this was old construction, but then at one point they added power into it. So these buildings haven't really been well taken care of. I guess the Forest Service only wanted to do those ones over there. Well, these were already probably collapsing by the time they took it over. At least some of it is still up. This is what I love about Arizona. You have these old structures like this. Just the history that's still here is just absolutely amazing. Things are definitely not like this anymore. You can see there's a solar powered something over there, so there's a little bit of modern stuff here. That's probably for the Forest Service, whatever they do with that. This building is in better shape here. It hasn't collapsed yet. This part of the corral is partially collapsed. Corral area. They might have had some stalls in here at one point. Yep. This thing doesn't have much time left. It's very fragile. Here's some old equipment. That could have been a wheel to a plow attachment. Got a drum over there. Looks like here's a farm implement here. It could have been with that wheel. Yeah, that's actually where that wheel looks like came off of that side. But if you look over there, there's the other wheel right there. I'm not too well versed in farming. I don't really know what this was. It could have been a plow of some sort. Or maybe it picked up the grass, made bales of hay or something. I don't really know. But it's been sitting here a while. And here's something with a motor on it. Let's see if we can get a manufacturer. Oh, it's a New Holland. Okay. This is obviously some newer stuff that was here probably when the Dude Ranch was in operation. Because you remember back in the day they didn't have these machines. They used horses. These belts are really weathered. Let's see if we can get a kind of motor this is. It's a Wisconsin something. It's an air-cooled Wisconsin Motor Corporation. Huh. See the spark plugs? These are dried out. I bet it would still run with a little bit of love. That's how old equipment was made. This is interesting. It did something here. Again, like I said, I'm not too familiar with farm stuff. Look at that. Instead of having a rubber belt, there's a chain driven, there's a sprocket right there. So there's obviously a tractor here at one point. Here's the hitch part of it. And over here, this looks like a cement mixer. Maybe put the cement in here. Yeah, you can see, look at that. You see a little bit of remnants. Yeah, this is a cement mixer. That's cool. Over here we got some more equipment. This looks like a ripper. It would probably go behind one of these implements, they would drag it on the ground, it would rip the ground, and then they would plant the seeds for whatever they were growing. You can see the tooth on the bottom there. It looks like they did a little bit of welding at one point and put a new one on there. It could have been attached to this thing at one point. So this isn't exactly ancient equipment, it's classic equipment. But it's all here, which is cool. Here's something else. This one also has a hitch. And there's some more stuff right here. This looks like it was part of a truck. You have got your axle and diff. I don't know what kind of truck it could have been. BF Goodrich. Here's the front end. There are your leaf springs and everything. Axle. Here's a bucket to a tractor. There's your bucket and attachment and a little more junk in there. Kind of hard to make out what it is. Looks like it could even be maybe a trailer in here or something. This big square thing. And here's the front end of a truck. I wonder if it came off of that one right there. An old Dodge. That's cool. So like I said, this was at one point one of the biggest ranches in the Southwest. And you can just see that. I mean, look at all the land. This is probably all their land right here. Everywhere around us. So at one point, it was a big operation. They had a lot going on over here. And now it's just kind of like a ghost town almost, or a ghost ranch. Okay, so we're gonna head down the road that way. There's a few more things to check out, and then that'll be a wrap. I could not find much information on the school online, but from what I read, there's no school-aged children in this part of Arizona, in this little area, so it may be used as a community center now, is my best guess, but I'm not sure. But you can tell that this building is still being used and is still cared for by somebody. Your very old outhouse right over there. Let's see if we can get a better look into this place and see what's inside there. Here's the old basketball court. Old swing sets. Interesting. But it's nice to see, you can see the old chalkboard in there and stuff like that. So they're doing something with it. And from what I read, this building could have been a residence for the teachers at the time when the school was in operation. And residents in this area obviously don't take care of it, or don't have a further need for it, because all the windows are busted out. Probably didn't have many teachers living here. It could have been one or two, but this was apparently their residence. There's an old double wide here. Definitely looks like 70s, judging by the shag carpet and the kitchen, the way it's designed here. This was a nice home at one point. I'm a sucker for old vintage trailers and mobile homes, so this would be perfect to have on a piece of land in good shape, obviously, not like this. Okay, so one bedroom here, two bedrooms on this side. There might have been another one over here. Yep. Three bedroom trailer, probably 2-bathroom. Oh yeah. Big bathroom here. Bigger than the other one. This must have been the master bathroom. Alright. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this place. Had a nice TV over there. Maybe one more look here. Alright, well that's going to conclude this adventure of the old schoolhouse property and the ranch. It was a pretty good one. A little short, but we saw some cool stuff. Again, I thank you guys for the support. It means a lot. Let's keep going. Let's keep making this channel one of the best on YouTube. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next adventure. Take care.